Yes, I know.
Okay, I know you don't. I know you don't. I caught your ad for the new executive director. And there's just one line in it that bothers me. And the reason it bothers me is that supposedly the reason given partly for what happened with Global Energy Solutions and Ms. Boykins was we didn't know. And the line says the ideal candidate shall be a highly self-motivated, self-directed person who achieves established goals with limited supervision. What's going to be the supervision? If last time the board didn't know that it looks like a scam was being perpetrated, at least that's what the Indianapolis Star said in their investigative report, what kind of supervision or oversight is there going to be of the new executive director? And this is what Mr. Kennan said in public, we didn't know.
I'm not disputing what Mr. Kennan said. I think it's like a lot of things, right? I think we've got to learn by mistakes we made in the past. As far as supervision, you know, whoever's in the executive director's job, he reports to the board of directors. And I think, as Mr. Kennan was so open and honest with you about, that they probably weren't as close to what was going on as they should have been for a number of different reasons, and I think that will change. I think a lot of the things that you're seeing happening now are as a result of a recognition that we have to change, we have to get better, and we have to learn from mistakes of the past.
But I'd like to know how that's going to be instituted. I mean, are they going to have to report to you constantly? Because if they're left on their own and there's not much oversight, then I'm thinking the city or county could hire their own person and let them go with those same dynamics. Because again, this is what he said. We didn't know, and if we didn't know, and you're the board, that is your employee. If I have an employee that's not doing what I expect them to do, and they're not reporting to me, I have a problem. And I'd just like to know what the change is going to be. I think that's a fair question.
Absolutely, I'm not denying it. It's a very fair question. I think one of the things, and I alluded to it earlier, was there are going to be metrics. You know, whoever does this job, quite rightly, should be measured. Their performance should be measured. Now, it's very important, I think, that we get the right measures. And that's something that we are working on, you know, that we're trying to come up with. What are the right measures that are fair measures so that if we measure the individual as executive director, they can influence. Now, I'll just give you an example of how, why they're so important. If you look at unemployment, one of the things that's been brandished about is, well, measure unemployment in our county versus other counties. That's a good measure of the executive director. Now, let's just have a show of hands. Who here thinks that's a good measure? Unemployment. Just to...
That's right. No, that's not my question.
No.
My question is about how we got to a point where almost $5 million in tax money was going to be spent, and how we're going to stop that by overseeing supposedly an executive director who was out there on his own. From all indications that was given, it has nothing to do with the metrics to stop a situation like that. Metrics won't stop that.
Oh yes, it will. Well, it's a combination of things. If you're measuring somebody on performance and they don't perform, then it's quite right that you address performance. I totally agree with that. However, if what you're suggesting is we should micromanage the person, if that's what you're...
No, you should know what he's doing when he gets into a big thing like that is going on and on and on. And
I agree that we need to know what he's doing, and what we're putting together right now is our objectives, you know, our mission. You know, it's a new group, and the metrics, what gets measured gets done. So yeah, of course he'll have to report to us.
But I mean the oversight.
I don't understand. I'm really not interested in history, quite frankly.
Well, history is what gets us to where we are today.
I'm telling you, that new director will be accountable.
You've got to learn from your mistakes, Larry. I don't disagree with that. But I think we've got to learn from them and go forward. And there is a mechanism for whoever is in this role, if they don't perform, then they have to suffer the consequences. I totally support it.